Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's show. This is off the back of a recent coaching session that I had with the men's coaching group that I hold. And it's really interesting, right? In our lives, we take on more responsibility. We have more people relying on us. And, we become more concerned with certain things. We start worrying more. We kind of lose our confidence as we get older. And, one of the questions that I asked the guys was, what do you miss about your younger self? And I think this is like a really important thing to talk about because that person who had this thing that they miss is still inside you, right? And he or she probably wants to come out. And that is how also people kind of remember you. And, like maybe they go like, oh, he's not quite himself anymore. Or she's not quite herself anymore. And it's because you've kind of had this trait or way of being squeezed out of you. And I think it's such an important thing to kind of try and revive. I want to take you through some of the things that the guys spoke about that they missed about themselves. And maybe you can relate, and maybe it gives you something to think about when it comes to yourself, because you probably really like that person as well. I'm not saying you don't like yourself now, but you probably really like that person in that era of your life, and they probably brought a certain type of energy to how you were, how you viewed the world, how you acted, how people perceived you. Why people wanted to be around you, like I said, I'll run through some of the things and maybe some of them will resonate, and you can make some changes and kind of get that person back or get those traits back a little bit, and not be afraid to be that person again. The first one was around charisma and bubbliness. Yeah, wow, it's amazing how we sort of become more reserved, you know what I mean? Like the older we get, and I don't know, maybe it's because we just get tired, and we stop being that way, like there's no reason why you can't still be bubbly and charismatic. It's kind of a choice, really, and it's a nice trait to have. Definitely not something that you kind of want to sort of forget or want to stop being like. Then another one was around the sort of relaxed perception of time. Like it seems like the older we are, the more we kind of like, we feel like we have to be doing things. We have to be busy. You have to wake up and you have to sort of be productive, as opposed to, like when you're younger, you're like, cool, let me just kind of wake up and go with the flow a little bit. Not really worry about having to be doing things, having to make money, having to be seen to be doing things even, just that sort of, and then I guess the traits that come with that relaxed perception of time are nice as well. You're kind of more at peace. People feel that as well. But if you like constantly now, you're like, go, 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 go. You're not necessarily like a nice person to be around, because you might create sort of levels of anxiety for people, or give off, that sort of feeling. I thought that one was a really cool one as well. Then I guess, like an easygoing nature. And again, kind of life, I guess maybe once you become more sort of like tuned into the way the world is run, and it maybe makes you like a little bit angry, and you want to change things, so you lose that kind of like easygoingness, what's the point at the end of the day? Like, on a grand scale, there's almost nothing you can change, right? You can always try to change things on a smaller scale, of course, but don't let that impact your kind of nice, easygoing nature. Then there was, like someone missed their less serious, like they were less serious, right, when they were younger. And yeah, again, you know, like we become kind of, yeah, more serious, you know. Just trying to think of like a different way to say it. But yeah, and again, maybe it's because of that like added kind of responsibility that you have in life. Like, you know, you feel maybe the pressure, so therefore you are more serious, but and you lose that kind of like jokey side of you. Yeah, so again, yeah, like these things, your body holds onto them as well, you know. And it's like you become you are perceived in a different way when you are, of course, more serious. And yeah, like again, it's just something to think about. Like, how can I kind of be a bit less serious? How can I enjoy my time on this planet a bit more? You know, how can I have more depth to my enjoyment? How can I switch off from the noise and the chaoticness and enjoy being in the moment? You know, enjoy that kind of like childlike, I don't know, energy and vibes. Yeah. And then the next one, I guess, is the kind of like innocence of being young, almost like the kind of naivety, you know, where again, it's because you know, you care about some things, you care about different things in different phases of your life. And when you're young, like you probably couldn't care less about, say, like politics and what's going on in the news. And therefore you are kind of more innocent and, you know, maybe more naive. And I mean that in like a good way, you know, like, geez, if we can block out so much of the noise that's going on these days, like you don't need to be worrying about what is happening in a country that's 2,000 miles from you, 5,000 miles from you, in a time zone that's like 10 hours ahead of you. Like, there is no reason that you kind of need to worry about what is going on there, because it's more than likely not going to affect you, you know? So, but yeah, this kind of global world, this interconnectedness, the internet, everything has made us more connected and like, you know, more informed of things that are going on all around the world, but it's really doing us no good, you know? So kind of in some ways, like it's good to be naive to, you know, things that are totally out of your control, because they do just add this element of stress to your life that you definitely don't need, that your physiology is definitely not designed for. And yeah, I mean, you've got probably enough stress in your life as it is, you know, to take on some massive flood that is impacting, you know, these people in another country that you've never been to, you're never going to go to, but now you're feeling it, you know, because of the devastation that has happened. And so yeah. Then living in the moment, right? And again, I guess, yeah, we kind of get stuck in our own heads the older we get. You know, you're always like looking back with a bit of kind of like regrets of like stupid things that you did, or you're thinking, you're fearful of things that might happen in the future. And those two things are stopping you from being present, from living in the moment, from enjoying the time that you have now, doing what you're doing, you know, like hanging out with your kids, soaking up their like positive, young, vibrating, joyful energy. And yeah, just, man, yeah, if we can just stop worrying about things that are kind of probably never going to happen, or again, it'll make your life just that much better. So, and then guys feel like they lost their sort of sense of humor. Yeah, you lose it, right? For some reason. Again, it's probably because life does get more serious, more complicated, more responsibility. You forget that it's still really good for you. It's good for your soul to have a joke, you know, to be the joker. Yeah, maybe you become worried about how you're perceived if you're the guy that's sort of cracking jokes still, but you're old. I mean, it's just silly when you think about it. Like, why are you actually on this planet? We're here to have fun. We're here to make the most of this life experience. And laughing is such an important part of it. So, and we need people with a sense of humor to make us laugh, you know? So yeah, I mean, I know one of my favorite things is to go like online and to just watch comedians, you know, like clips of their shows. And I'm like, I'll belly laugh and I'll be like, yes, this is good for me. This is good for how I feel. It's good for my soul. It makes me, yeah, feel like, man, there's lots to be happy about still. So I thought that was good. And then another one that's, another one that's sort of tied to that is, laughter. You know, there's nothing like a good belly laugh, you know. And when was the last time that you laughed? Like that you had a big belly laugh, that you're with your buddies and you flipping were uncontrollable. Like that is so important. That is like nourishing. That is rich. That is deep. That has like sort of these ancestral, I don't know, like feelings and like it's part of how we designed, right? We designed to laugh, and it's good for our hormones and our overall existence. And try do more of that. And then the last two were that kind of sense of like being carefree. And once again, I think it's that grip of life, the grip of society, where you have to be performing, you have to be working hard, you know, you have to be earning money to pay bills and to keep your sort of head above water. And you kind of lose that carefreeness, which is actually still so important, you know, like, man, like if there's anything you can do to simplify your life, to make it that little bit more carefree, then do it, you know, like literally take a analysis of your daily routine and start going, what can I kind of remove from here to make my life less complex and therefore, like, you know, just more carefree. So yeah, the simpler you can live, I believe, the sort of the better, because life is difficult as it is, especially in this day and age, you know, where we're all connected, we're all online, everyone's working so much, we're disconnected from nature and from people and isolated and all these things. So see what you can do to make your life more simple. And then the last one was like spontaneity. And yeah, like when was the last time you just said, okay, cool, let's just go do this, you know, like rather than having these like completely like booked out schedules where everything is like in your diary, you know, like, and organized to the T. What's the point in that, you know, like, add some spontaneity to your life again, make a decision just kind of on the whim, you know, go visit somebody, invite a friend over, go to an event, go, you know, whatever it is, go travel, book a flight, like just like be spontaneous. You know, these are all things that are important to not forget. They're important because they keep us young, and you know, they help us be the best version of ourselves. So have a think about what it is that you miss about yourself, your younger self, which character traits they are. Let me know. I'd love to know, because by listening to other guys speaking in my coaching group, it reminds you as well, like what you might have forgotten about yourself, you know, and you're like, oh yeah, I also missed that a bit about myself. So that's why it's good to talk, you know, and to listen to other people and what they miss. So let me know what you miss about your younger self, and hopefully I also remember that about myself as well. I go, oh yeah, cool. So you never know who you're going to help just with your own thoughts. Anyway, that's today's session. Super quick one. I thought it was really relevant, and it kind of helped me really kind of look at my life a little bit differently and going, cool, I want to add that back in. I forgot that part of me, and I'm going to feel better for it. So that's it. Have a cool one. See you later. Bye.